everybody. Let me tell you something. I'm just like really happy to be here. And I write a lot in the middle of the night. I'm up like manically writing and pouring my jokes into my journal. And being able to perform for you is very special for me. So again, thank you so much for coming. And we're gonna get into it. So how are you guys? I feel good. How about you guys? Nice. Very good. So very nice weather you're having. I'm up from Miami this week where some days we dream of walking into a giant meat freezer just like this. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's good. But even though I live in Miami now, I'm from this city, born and raised right here in Washington Heights. Anybody else here? Washington Heights? Okay. I love my neighborhood. And no matter how long I've been gone, I'll always have a lot of pride being from this city. But that's how New Yorkers are, though. We're proud of this city. And let me tell you something. Once you leave the greater metropolitan area, there's an obsession, a fixation, in fact, as to the authenticity of the New Yorker. That's right. Serious business. It is. When you say you're a New Yorker in other parts of the country, people are going to ask you. They want stats. They'll ask you years, dates, school districts, names, whatever information they need to filter through their New Yorker criteria and decide whether or not you qualify. It's true. And, because every real New Yorker feels like this is their city, what are you going to do? Very territorial people. Recently, I had this one guy, this jerk off at a party down in Hollywood, Florida, get real nasty with me when I told him I'm from Manhattan. And I admit my presence at the party was a little bit weird. It was like a party of old money that a client of mine brought me to. And a guy I did a big project for. I really wish the guy had briefed these old stuffy people as to our platonic business relationship beforehand. Because I could tell they thought I was using the dude for some nefarious purpose. Whatever, maybe he thought it'd be fun, probably, right? So, anyway, whatever, he didn't. So he introduces me to this one friend of his, this guy who just hated me on sight. Ever happen to you guys? Someone just takes a look at your face and that's it, it's over, it's a wrap. But it was cool because the feeling was completely mutual. It was anyway, he asked me where I'm from, so I told him I'm from Manhattan, and he goes, "Oh yeah? What street?" It's like that. What street? So, even though I hated him so much, I kind of loved it. I love this moment he's offering me where he thinks he's going to expose my lie about being from New York. And I was just savoring it because I didn't know how or when it was going to happen. But I knew at some point in the conversation, I was going to make him look real stupid. Real freaking stupid. So, I didn't answer him right away. I said, "Where are you from?" And he goes, I fucking hated this guy. I'm so glad right now for this moment. This all happened. It's juicy shit. So, I didn't answer him right away. I go, where are you from? I asked him. He goes, "I lived on 108th Street for 25 years. So I said, no. I asked you where you're from, not where you've lived. That was the right move, people. He didn't like that at all. No, not one bit. And, I stumped him. He had nothing to say, so I filled in for him. I said, "Hey, listen, buddy, I'm New York City public school educated, all right? I don't know if you could hear it, but I did all years, K through 12, minus 1 year in some private school jump off. And you know what? I was a little punk at that joint, too. 108th Street for 25 years. Give me a break. 181st Street for 29 years from birth. And let me tell you something, my friend. I wasn't taking the train at 6 a.m. every morning because it was some romantic New York novelty. All right? You people know, you strap hangers know exactly what I mean. I heard some stories about some train rides. So, yeah. That shut him up real good. That was good. But, I don't like nobody trying to take my New York away from me. Not that they can, I just don't like them trying. I think a lot of New Yorkers in exile feel that way too. We are very proud of our city. We're also the only ones in this whole country with a lot of neighborhood-specific pride. Because in New York, I've been around Miami people for like months, or they don't have like any sense of irony. It's incredible. A New Yorker can travel to the most northern, most remote town in Siberia. If someone asks them where they're from, NYC, Flatbush, Lower East Side, baby. Telling an Eskimo in an igloo about 100th Street and Avenue J. Building 11, apartment 2A. I'm telling you, Jack. Look it up. I'll look it up. Booze, broads, bud, whatever you need. It's the best. I'm telling you, it's true. Your neighborhood, your street, it's the best. It's better than anyone else's. I guarantee it. And really, if you're a New Yorker, if you're a real New Yorker, and you're thinking about leaving, don't do it. Go take a vacation, all right? If you're going to go off trying to call somewhere else home, you are in for a shock. There is nowhere like this city, man. There really isn't. Whatever we could possibly lack, we make up for in personality many times over, right? Yeah. And you know, you could tell me about the beautiful Pacific Coast, that emerald green Miami Sea, that pure Rocky Mountain air. You know, that's nice. That's nice, but it's not going to sustain you. You need a heavy load of personalities. You need them at the post office, you need them at the bus, you need them on the train, you need them everywhere. And you see, other people from other parts of the country, they don't require the kind of heavy load of personalities that you do. And usually, they only like it at like a distance, like TV, internet, radio, coming through some signal receiving apparatus where they can adjust the volume and the power. Come on, let's be real. It's just way too much in person on a regular basis. Yeah, I know, believe it or not, it's going to shock you guys. I know, I'm starting to break some hearts. There is a such thing to other people in the country. There's a such thing as being too New York. I can't believe it. Can you believe it? I was shocked. I've actually been accused of being too New York, Miami. Recently, actually, I gotta tell you about this. I went online. Shouldn't have done this, but I did. I went online one night to meet a guy. Some guy. It was a low moment for me. I'm not really seeing eye to eye with these Miami dudes, so I went online to a dating website, which is weird. It is. You know, online dating may have worked for you, but it doesn't make the concept any less weird for me. It's like going on Amazon.com and buying yourself a boyfriend. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. So I went against my principles. I met a guy from the Midwest, and he was a slow talker. But that sounds nice and sweet and sincere. So I thought, let's keep talking. No harm in talking, right? But I gotta tell you, folks, I kind of knew it wasn't meant to be from the jump. First of all, I was the second Jew he'd ever met in his life. I don't even think he met the first one. What did he say? He said, I saw a man in a beanie cap with some curly fries coming down the side of his face at an exam once near my cousin's house. Like for directions. I had a feeling, I even told him, I said, I don't know, second Jew, that's a lot of pressure, I tell you. I hope I don't turn you into an anti-Semite. I told him this is what I did. It's a funny line, right? And he goes, why would you do that, darling? Why would you do something like that? Just like that, real dumbfounded, no sense of irony. Just like that. Just like that. I said, I don't know. I just thought it'd be something funny to say. Something a little dark, a little self-deprecating. None of that appeals to you? Oh my. Where is that check? The time. Gave it time, though. That 2 weeks I did. It's exactly what they tell you not to do in your 20s, by the way. You're never supposed to give a man time in your 20s. No one I ever dated in my 20s was ever good enough for the people I knew. They always said so-and-so wasn't worth my time. Don't give him the time of day, they said. Not 1 minute, not 1 second. It's funny how they flip the script on you the moment you turn 30. When you're in your 30s, you gotta give it time, they tell you. Just give it more time. Whoever it is that's giving you time, give him more of it. You're still not feeling it after the 4th date? That's all right, you gotta give it time. Just give it time. If I just give him as much as he'll take, that's sufficient. Just, and fast too. Hurry up, because this is not a game anymore. And so I gave it time with the boy from the Midwest, but man was he boring. Long-winded with a monotone. Yeah, I know. Man, And I felt badly, I did. I was kind of cute, he was kind of horny, but I could only carry a conversation on my own for so long, You gotta meet me halfway, a quarter way, something, But, he was a good-looking dude, but boring, you can't do anything with boring. It's unyielding. It has no give. It's, So, somewhere out there I created another anti-Semite. That's all right. It's a spit in the bucket, really. At least I didn't turn him into a Jew. That's pressure, man. It's funny how some Jewish women, compel men to, non-Jewish men to turn into Jews for them. They're so amazing. They're such goddesses that a man will seek out a rabbi. He'll get turned down 3 times, and then given one opportunity to study, he'll hit the books real hard and take a difficult test that I know I couldn't pass. Leave his whole old religion behind just to adopt a whole new way of being for this one beautiful Jewish goddess. It's amazing, but this is what some Jewish women do. Other Jewish women, they don't turn men into Jews. They turn men into anti-Semites. And this is me. I fall into the second category. I'm not, All right, what can you do? But I'm a Jew. I suspect I'm not alone here. I see you with my Jew dog. You don't have to say anything. I'm a Jew, I've taken to saying that the last couple of years. I like how it makes people a little bit uncomfortable. I'm a freaking dirty fucking Jew. I tell you what I don't like is this Jewish stuff. What the hell is that? It's like a freaking apology. Don't worry, it's not contagious. You won't catch it, Let me tell you, this ain't skim milk over here. This is heavy cream, all right? Both parents bar mitzvah right here at the Hebrew Tabernacle in Washington Heights. Now listen to me, no one does a bar mitzvah like my family, all right? We memorize the entire Torah portion in Hebrew backwards and forwards. And the party afterwards is a nice, normal, modest celebration. We don't fucks with circus acts, magicians, ponies. No way, that shit is crazy. Our bar mitzvah celebrations are simple. There's music, there's food, and then you go home. That's, the coolest shit for me was that there were 2 security guards the morning of my bar mitzvah. Okay, that was awesome. They were kind of cute too. I was like, oh, okay, Poppy, what's up? I'm a woman by Jewish law now, on that landline. I can take the both of y'all. Free from way back. Sorry, Dad. I love that. I love it when there's so many Jews somewhere that who's ever in charge of all of us has to hire security. That's my shit, man. I love it when the Jew energy mixes it up with the law enforcement vibe. It makes me feel all Michael Jackson bad and shit, I love that Israeli, I don't give a shit attitude too. That's what I live for, right? Let me tell you, on a trip to the Golan Heights in northern Israel, our tour guide brought that exact vibe, good and solid. About 40 of us on the trip. And, he leveled with us about some of the security issues. He said, hey, listen, guys, listen. As we stand here right now in this very holy place, there is a Lebanese intelligence agent listening to every word I am saying. He sees all of you, knows precisely where you are standing and what you are wearing. But do not worry, because I know about this guy too. I know he went to the gas station and had an 8-ounce coffee this morning. I know how many sugars he put in his cup. And I know which way he stirs that drink. So, not to worry, my Jews, we are very, very safe. That's actually the guy that stopped that. That's the dude that inspired me to stop saying I'm Jewish and start calling myself a Jew, because he don't know English ain't his first language, He doesn't know that ooh is too heavy, that ish is nice and light. Too heavy on the ooh. What are you gonna do, I don't give a shit. I'm a Jew. Listen, what are you gonna do? We can't all be perfect, so. I'll tell you, I'm a single Jew too. There's just the one of me. I'm going to tell you the kind of single I am, too, so you know, because I realize that singleness exists on a spectrum, where you got single and mingling on one end, and you got fucking single on the other. Now, I am fucking single. which is a bit of a misnomer because when you're fucking single, you don't even do that. So, but I realize you can be just as happy single as you can be in a relationship, because when you're single, when you're really fucking single, you get to make executive moves. All right, all you fucking single people know what I'm talking about, right? That's something you have, all right? That's something you give, you trade that up. That's one of those things you trade up for the unconditional love of a spouse, is executive decisions. So I mean, like, if you get to the door of the supermarket, right, and you see chaos, you know, kids running around, 20-minute lines at the register, Dominicans shouting at each other even though they're standing right next to one another. If you see all that and you don't want to get involved, you can leave. You turn around, no appeals process. You leave, that's it. You know, you also, you know, and I think also, if you, I love this shit, if you're like sitting in a movie and you hate it, you just walk out. Or if you're taking like sick pleasure in how bad it is, you just sit there and just hate it with all your might, and no one's tugging on your sleeve. It's great. I love it. You also get to do like gross, uncouth things at home, like let mount dishes and mount laundry reach amazing heights. Come and go for weeks, letting them get higher and higher and higher still till you're eating off paper plates and re-wearing whatever's at the summit of Mount Laundry. And don't get too close tonight. You know, at some point, you do have to start scaling them. And really between the two, I'd rather scale Mount Dishes than Mount Laundry, which is why Mount Dishes is like a Catskill mountain usually compared to the Andean heights of Mount Laundry. Because, you know, dishes, that's something you take care of in the privacy of your own home. You know, it's disgusting, especially if it's like been over 72 hours. You notice that, like, even if you live alone, one spoon, one fork, one plate, one bowl, one cup, if all that stuff is dirty at 72 hours, it starts to, like, grow other stuff. And then you're not just cleaning, you're, like, annihilating entire ecosystems from the sink. So, I mean, yeah, it's gross, you know, but you put on some music, you process the guilt alone. It's a private affair. Laundry, on the other hand, that's a whole public affair. And it begins with what I call the walk of shame, which is you traipsing your filthy, disgusting clothes through the streets to the laundromat and start sorting them out with other people doing the same. And, you know, people at a laundromat, those are not happy people, right? No one wants to be at a laundromat. A laundromat is like it's a dog-eat-dog world where otherwise good people will shamelessly trample on top of one another to get their stuff done out first. Disgusting. I'll tell you something, this established place, a lot of menacing looks in the laundromat. I know about them, I've gotten them, and I've given them too. And, you know, some people unanimously deserve a dirty look at the laundromat. You know, no matter what your laundry room standards of etiquette are, there are some people that we can all agree deserve a dirty look at the laundromat. Like people who walk in with a bag of damp, already washed clothes from their house because they only have a washer and they break your cycle to use a dryer. Those people are evil. It's like, why don't you save your quarters and my time and buy yourself a dryer, you half-rich, cycle-cutting mother... You know how shit gets really nasty in your head? You know, I'll tell you, I get a lot of dirty looks from in my laundromat are like little abuelitas who are like professional laundristas, abuelitas laundristas, looking like they're bursting at the seams, watching me throw all my clothes in the same washer without sorting them. I get that smug judgment face from abuelita. Evidently, she doesn't like me mixing my whites with my colors. Can you believe that? It's like, how do you think you got here, abuelita? I got mad abuelitas living in my building down in Miami. Make some noise if you got abuelitas in your building, on your block, in your hood. They hold it down. You know, that's right, abuelitas, you know. You know, crazy. Some of the abuelitos are still alive. There are a few couples still kicking it. But by and large, most abuelitas are flying solitas. One of the abuelitas in my building, she's not really an abuelita per se. She's more of an abuelo. She got that short haircut, long basketball shorts, a wife beater, chacletas, and sometime in her past, sometime like 30 years ago, she had herself a man too. You know, when they had a wife before she got kicked out, a life. Freudian slip there. Before she had came out of the closet, you know, they had a dog, they had a cat, they had a daughter. You know, someone wiped her up at one point. You know, and it wasn't her first choice. She'll never forget Linda. Linda la linda. Diablo, ay. Pero, you know, things was different back then. And Carlito, he was a good man. He was. But you really couldn't be out like that in the 80s. So 6 years she did with her baby daddy. 6 years. Talking about it like she did a bid. 6 years with that motherfucker. God bless him. By the way, that's the difference between a gay female divorcee and a straight one. Gay lady who used to be married to a dude, she did a bid with him. Please come in, yes. She did a bid with him. And you know, she's happy for him now. The new wife is freaking beautiful. They're taking vacations all the time. Got themselves lovely little kids living in a big house. Mommy got herself a little body and everything. But she'll never catch a straight woman talking about her ex-husband's new lady like that. No, you won't. Because it's not normal. Not normal. What's normal is like, you know, the standard. That bitch ugly, that bitch fat, that bitch ain't about nothing. You know, the new wife, you know, she could be Hillary Clinton and still won't like her. But you know, that wouldn't even happen anyway because Hillary already did a bid with Bill, so she done, she threw it in the towel. So this lady down there, she calls us out Cuba. That's Cuba in English, Cuba. And let me tell you, this lady's MO in life, right, is information. Información. She needs it for sustenance. She infosynthesizes it into the cells of her body. She lives off of that shit. I think they make like one of these people when they make molds for residential buildings, like they're ready for this. That's her shit, man. I tell you, notice that those like gossipy people always have like the second floor apartment facing the street entrance? That's like the perfect place. Compile a dossier of everybody living in the building. Like, I wonder, do people like that seek out those apartments, or does a person become like that from living in that apartment all the time? We need to research this, people. I'm sure I'll run out of steam really quick. But yeah, Google likes the information, and she can't get it. She catches on to, if someone, like, I'm sorry, I need this. Do you mind if I get something to drink real quick? I'm just sweating my ass over right now.
Chloe, here. Chloe.
Okay, yeah.
This is cold. Yeah.
Okay, I know this is so professional,
yeah. Okay.
Right? Thank you, Mom. Okay.
You want to just give it back to me? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You have enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, we're in Cuba, yo. Yeah, she can't stand it, yo. If you don't give her information, it drives her crazy. So, if you give her nothing to work with, this is what she does, because she's like a professional at being like a gossip. Like, if you don't give her anything, she will like foist unsolicited information on you. So now somehow you are involved. Somehow you're involved. Like, you feel me? Like, I walk in the building and I see her, I immediately get hit with, yo, Chloe, dog, yo, you know what happened? Yo, you know what happened, dog? You know what happened? Like, third floor, dead ass, I'm not even playing, you know what happened? And you can't stop it, because she's not asking if I know what happened, because she doesn't know I don't know. She knows I don't know. It's just her setup, her building momentum, and tell me about, yo, Chloe, third floor, yo, couple with the little chihuahua, divorce, yo, he was going with that sexy ass lady on the second floor with the cute face who I moved in at 214. I'm pissed too, because he knew I was trying to holler. Pissed. Man, it's like, what? Like, now I know this. Now I just freaking know about the couple and the divorce with the dog and the girl on the second floor. And it's like, knowing that kind of information, it makes me uncomfortable because it immediately creates culpability. It's like, there's nothing good that could come of me knowing that, right? So what can you do, you know? I tell you, it's not always easy for me to be out among other people. Because you know why? Some people have like no idea how annoying they are. Isn't that right? They have no clue. They have no clue. Like, I'll tell you what I can't stand. First of all, this sweater. Hold on. Oh man, you know what I can't stand? When someone says, they go, you know, I saw you earlier. And not even the words, I saw you earlier. The silence after them. Saw you earlier. That gives you just enough time to start manically running through your head about all the nasty, gross, disgusting things they may have seen you doing earlier. And it's like, you know, it's like, what was it? You just tell me, what was it you saw me doing earlier that stood out of your mind so much that you had to bring it up the next time you saw me? What was I doing? Was I scratching myself, picking a wedgie, eating ketchup, and there was eating French fries, and there was ketchup coming down the side of my face? What was it? I'd like to know. You know, I think the most polite thing we can all do out there in the world is pretend like whatever we saw someone doing in the street, we didn't see. We didn't see. You know what I mean? Like, I see my neighbor picking a wedgie. My next move is to delete the image. That's the next move. Like a file on a computer. Done. Never saw him. But some people have to keep those files on record. Like, you know, I don't get it. And I'll tell you something. Every year, I find myself modifying more and more of my behaviors to keep people from commenting on their perception of me in the street. Like, for example, I no longer buy more than 2 slices of pizza at a time. Reason why is because when you buy more than 2 slices, they usually give it to you in a box. And there's no way that myself or any of you people can get from the pizzeria to your house with a box of pizza without some pain-in-the-ass pedestrian making a comment like, ooh, what you got in there? Is that for me? Or I wonder what's on the dinner plate tonight. Oh man, every time I can't stand it. Because you know the subtext to all that is, I caught you. I caught you. Thought you'd get away with it, didn't you? Yeah. Thought no one would know that you were going to get some pizza tonight. Lock the door to your room, take all your clothes off, and eat it while watching television with the AC blasting. Yeah. Not so fast. Not so fast. I got you. It's like they're trying to take a bite out of the whole experience. It's sick. It's sick. It's a sick world we live in where pedestrians can think they can sprinkle their comments all over each other's pizza, you know. But what can you do? You know, you can't shoot them, so I don't buy more than 2 slices at a time. It's how I handle that. It amazes me really the lengths some nosy people will go to, too. Like, there's some people whose whole life revolves around the comings and goings of others, and just for those people, I've taken to wearing what I like to call a public invisibility cloak. PIC, just to avoid having to deal with like people like Cube or anybody like that. I'll tell you what it consists of too. You might need this. It's a hoodie, shades, headphones, a cigarette, and a 40 in a brown paper bag. Thank you so much. Exactly, that's it. You know, that's disgusting, but the laundromat, I hate it there. I don't know. After I win the Powerball Lotto jackpot, there's a few places you will never catch me again. The laundromat is off the list. Definitely the supermarket, that's not happening. The dollar store I'll still go to because that's just fun. You know what I mean? Especially like if you win the Powerball, you need to keep going to the dollar store because you have to keep appearances up that you're broke. Unless you're like dumb enough to tell people you won the Powerball, like. Just keep, hard times, Nancy, hard times, you know. It's very important. Trust me, I've worked all this out I'm not going back to the supermarket or Verizon. I hate going to Verizon. Well, who doesn't hate going to Verizon, right? Everybody hates going to Verizon. It's not even Verizon's fault, right? It's always like having to go there's fault. And there's always like they have the same dude at every Verizon in the country. You notice that? Always like the same dude. They got that smooth talking guy with the shape up, tape up, telling you about, yo, ma, this plan though, yo, $50 down, $10 a month for the next 24 months. But like for you, because I feel like a certain kind of connection, like for you, we could get you the upgrade today if you get our friends and family. what's up? What's up? You know, and I can't even lie, like if it's been a while, it's kind of like, wepa, like, oh, where do I sign? What's your sign? You know? Yeah, dale papi. Mostly it was like a shape up is trying to convince you into thinking it's a jawline. It's just too much. Freaking Verizon contracts, gym contracts, the contract spiel. So I'm not going to Verizon after I win the lotto. No way. You can pay people to do that. Or I'm not even gonna, this is like off the script. I am not even going to have a cell phone after I win the Powerball. I'll just throw that shit out. I said, people always tell you about plans, the plans they have. I'm going to take a good nap, like a really, you imagine the kinds of dreams you would have without like Capital One, Atlantic Broadband, the rent, the this, the that, like all that shit cleared off the mainframe, the kinds of dreams you have. Oh my God, I got to write that shit down. Erica, please remind me of that. But,
I have it on here.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay.
So, no more Verizon. Or Subway. No more Subway sandwich shop for me. No. But let me tell you something. Anyone only ever winds up in Subway because there weren't enough options, time, or money. That's either you got a coupon for like a meatball sub and you're broke as fuck, so you'll suck it up. Or, that was so disgusting. Or it's like a 24-hour Subway and you're like in the outskirts of Boston after a concert. And the only place that's open is a 24-hour Subway sandwich shop. You know, maybe Burger King was your first choice, but the girl at the drive-thru was in like stage 2 RAM on her phone. Do you go to Subway, sir? Do you ever go to Subway? Yeah. You go to Subway? What do you have there, sir?
You know, my whole thing is they just never put enough cheese. It's just
I know that. The cheese.
Not enough meat either.
Yeah,
They're cheap on everything.
they're so cheap. Yeah. I was just gonna recommend if you go there, have the Chloe Club. That's anything vegetarian, because I don't know, like even if I'm in like a meat eating phase, you cannot convince me that is meat. Be careful. I used to go to my local one a lot, but I made like that tragic fucking mistake of like getting too like chummy with the people that work there. You don't do that? You mess up and create a celebrity out of yourself, the local Duncans or something. And then it's, it's all well and good at first. You lighten people up, and then someone owes someone $20 and there's like a moratorium on the place, so passed out. So no more Subway or Dunkin' Donuts, speaking of moratoriums. Yeah, no more Duncans for me. Thursdays through Mondays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's when Jeff works there. Yeah. I have 2 pages on Jeffrey. Yeah, it's amazing. Let me tell you, first of all, that's his real name, Jeff. Jeffrey, let me explain about Jeffrey. Jeffrey was one of my pupils. You get some of those as a woman after you turn 25, all right? I know some of you ladies in the audience, you had one, you have one, or you will have a few in the future. A pupil is a guy who's like 23, and he thinks you're 23 too, and then he acts all shocked when you tell him your real age. He's all cute and eager to learn. So I was like, okay, hello, Poppy, we can waste each other's time for a bit, But Poppy was not a good student. He needed a lot of help, and more help than I have patience for. Like, I'm gonna tell you what his problem was, because it hit me the other day. I love when I can put something in words and it just sums it up. Jeffrey, he didn't know when to sprint and when to pace himself. He was a mess. Like, I don't know what 23-year-olds are up to these days, but he's like way out of line. All right, let me tell you. I'm gonna give you like a little bit of the background. I hate this shit, but you need to know that a little bit. We've been texting for like 9 months before I invited him to hang out, which, because my father is here, I will let you interpret as you will.
We'll cover his ears.
So like 9 months I know this kid, right? And an hour, 1 hour after I texted him asking him if he wanted to hang out, He starts sending me pictures of Jeffrey Jr. I was so pissed, y'all. I was like, yo, you just killed the vibe, my man. Like, damn, yo. Like, at least wait for me to see it live first. Like, I don't, but he sprinted right out of the gate. You know what I mean? Like, foolish. I was like, hell no. Fuck that shit. I was so upset, grossed out. I told him, I'm going to sleep, man. I'm done. Fast forward a few days later, I get the apology essay text, right? Those you don't even read them, you just kind of like, I guess he's sorry. I can't read all. Nobody's paying me to read that. So we spoke about it a little bit. You know, I told him why I was upset and why women don't usually like unsolicited pictures like that. And you know, but then this is where he became my like remedial pupil. This is when I knew that Jeffrey needed that extra special help that I cannot give. Because one text after I forgive him, he goes, but still, you liked it though. It's big, right? It's real big. You liked it? Did you like it though? You liked it? It's alright, I can't go to Duncan. I shouldn't be going to Dunkin' Donuts anyway, you know? But, yeah, I need to get off the coffee. I don't drink Starbucks anyway. How is that shit even legal, too? There's just like no way that can be good for you. You know, there's no way people drink that stuff every day. It's amazing. I'm shocked that dialysis equipment companies haven't yet seen the potential of partnering with Starbucks. Man, I were like the CEO of one of those dialysis equipment companies. That would be like Monday morning, 7 a.m. priority business. Get in touch with Howard Schultz, putting some of our equipment into locations nationwide. You know, this stuff has gotten stronger through time, and it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. I'm telling you, by the year 2500, follow me, I got visions. Starbucks business model is just going to be outdoor coffee pumps where you just stick the stuff directly into your adrenal glands like you pump gas into your vehicle. This is where we're headed. Amazing. And then, you know what amazes me? Like, people think this is all leading to productivity. It's like, how exactly does one measure productivity? Because, like, you know, even if you make $1 million a year and you're going on all cylinders, Starbucks day and night, in 20 years' time, you're going to need all that money to clean that mess up, get whole new sets of organs, everything. Just cut the middleman and have some water, you know? But, you know, people are putting the cart before the horse. The horse has to go first. It always must go first. People do it, though. They adopt one bad coping mechanism after the next, each worse than the last, just to live, of all things. How's that for some dark irony? As a society, too, we actually, we embrace our bad habits. You know, sure, at first, people will talk to you, they'll try to talk you out of a cigarette habit, but if you smoke long enough, show them you mean business, they'll eventually leave you alone. You know, it's, and if you stick with it, in 30 years' time, you'll have made that great transformation from a kid with a smoking problem to the old smoking bastard on the porch. Yeah. At that point, no one's going to try to help you clean up your habit. Instead, they'll just regularly send you gift baskets full of cigars and liquor on the holidays. That's where that goes. But I don't know. I like to keep my stress levels low so I don't reach for too many substances. It's a little easier when you work for yourself. I'm my own boss, you know. Everyone actually is their own boss. By the way, I realized this the other day. It's just that, even people working in jobs they hate, 40 hours a week, awful. Even that person is their own boss. It's just that for a few hours a day, they pretend that someone else is their boss. It's like a power custodial system. That's what jobs are. It's a power custodial system. I don't like jobs. Don't get me wrong, no, I don't like jobs at all. But I do love to work. Always found a way to make it on my own. I'm a writer, I'm a painter, I'm whatever you need me to be kind of girl, but I'm not an employee, all right, that's for sure. In the past, though, I'm fucking 30 now. In the past, every so often, I'd get a hankering for a job, and I don't know why, too. I think I just had this romantic vision of myself sitting at a bar at the end of a week, complaining about my boss. My boss. My boss. Throw my complaints in a soup with other people who got them too. And, I don't know. I've had a few jobs. I've been a waitress, a bartender, a receptionist, sign painter, a cashier, a construction worker. I'm not kidding. I have been a construction worker. I don't know if you believe. I know you probably some of you won't believe, but it's true. I'm going to tell you how I got that job too, because it's actually not easy for a woman to get a job in construction. I always wanted to try because I needed like 5 minutes for a stand-up act. But I never got a call back. I never got the call back. So what I did something very clever this time. So I did was I applied online. I called myself C, and with the question about gender, I just didn't answer it. So when the guy called me up for the interview, he was like tongue-tied. He was like, yeah, you can come for an interview. You know, he didn't want to interview me either. He was just like afraid of the EEOC. Yeah, he was like terrified. So I came down for the interview at this fancy schmancy white linen tablecloth restaurant. Real mafia stuff, you know what I mean? The guy takes one look at my face and he goes, "My God, you're a girl!" And it was great, you know, a Sicilian guy from Brooklyn running a construction business down there in Miami. And he liked me, you know, he thought he liked how I could adapt to that white ethnic New York energy. So that's my shit, that's my scene, you know what I mean? So it was crazy. It was a crazy experience working in construction in Miami summer and all that. And the boys, let me tell you, the boys on the site, they had their habits. They did. The boys, let me tell you something. If you don't pick up at least a couple of bad habits working a job in construction, you're never going to last. Socially, I mean, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. And, you know, I wasn't about to let them think I was some little pansy. So what I did was, check this shit out, because I wanted to live too, you know. So I bought a pack of those BS cigarettes, like the organic hipster bullshit. And at our like end of the day meetings, I'd take one out and I'd light it. And then every 25 seconds or so, I put it to my lips and make this face. Trying to live, you know. Funny, you can like light up a cigarette and repel the soccer moms, but light up a cigarette on a construction site and you'll draw your coworkers in like flies to a light bulb. It's fantastic. Oh, it's amazing. It's wild. So yeah, there's got to be like some kind of equation they teach in colleges that measures how many metric tons of nicotine it takes to get one story above the ground. Yeah, my boss at that job, he had some bad habits, plenty of them. At any given moment, that guy would be smoking a cigarette, talking on the phone, chewing gum, drinking coffee, and freaking losing it in his Dodge Ram on the highway all at the same time. Freaking comedic gold, people. It was amazing. Risking my life for a couple of minutes of stand-up. I don't know how people past the age of 40 doing all that stuff, you know. And the guy was like 42, but you could already see his faculties were like going. Like, check it out. He could no longer articulate his thoughts at a 1-to-1 ratio with his speech any longer. He kept, like, every time he started talking, it was like he was trying to crank up a car that sat through a long Adirondack winter. It was like, please, do me a favor, will you? Take that stuff in that pile over there and put it over there. Would you do that for me, kid? Thank you so much. Thank you. And, you know. Of course, I was happy to do anything for the guy, you know. Because he wasn't your regular boss, you know. This guy, he really let you see his vulnerabilities, and I like that. He's a good guy. He was really good to me. Invited me into his world of wisdom as we sat in traffic under that hot Miami sun. He told me, you know what I like about you, kid? You don't take nothing from nobody. All right? And even if I give you shit, don't take that from me. Yeah. That's what he said. He's a good guy. He told me, I got two types of people in this world. You got your Monday through Friday 9-to-5. And he needs to be told when he could take a dump. He asks, can I take a dump in an hour, boss? Can I take a dump in an hour? Well, when, boss, can I take my dump? And then you got your 24-hour guy, your 7-day-a-week guy. And he don't need to be told when he can take a dump. He gotta go at 3 a.m., he goes at 3 a.m. He don't ask for permission. That's right. By the way, before I go tonight, before I let you all go, I want to thank you because I can only do this guy's impression here in New York. He spoke a very, very thick dialect of Flatbush Italian English. Thick. I don't need to hire a certified translator like I do down there in Miami. Definitely a diamond and all that cubic zirconium they got over there. Water and a desert personality. Thank you so much for coming out to see me. Thank you so much. Shows to come. I got another show tomorrow night, and I'll keep blasting Instagram and YouTube, letting you guys know where I'll be. Thank you so much.